Yes, hello children of ninth class. Welcome to physics classes. So today I will continue the topic which I have discussed in the last class about the motion, and we have learned that motion is relative and some few concepts and few examples of motion. And today I would like to explain you about the different types of terms or the words which are helpful in studying the motion concepts. The first one is, so first thing I would like to give you a small introduction about scalar and vector quantity. What is this scalar and what is vector? We have learned in last classes about basic concepts in my last videos. FPS, CGS, MKS units were there, right? So physical quantities are broadly classified into two categories: fundamental and derived. Fundamental quantities and derived quantities. So fundamental and derived quantities, again they fall under two categories called as scalar and vector quantities. What is a scalar and what is a vector quantity? Scalar quantities are nothing but the physical quantities with only what? Magnitude is called as scalar quantities. Remember that scalar quantities means a physical quantity with only magnitude but not the direction. But opposite to scalar is a vector. You can tell the answer now. Physical quantities with both magnitude as well direction is called as or is known as vector quantities. See, physical quantities are of two types now. One is scalar and another one is vector. So scalar quantities are nothing but the physical quantities with only magnitude. Say magnitude is nothing but here a numerical value. I will tell you a simple brief example. See, rice is measured in kilograms. You know that. Say I took 5 kilograms of rice. So 5 is a numerical number, or it's a number which explains you or which tells you, which gives you the information of quantity of rice, isn't it? 5 is explaining about the quantity of rice. So this is called as magnitude here. That means physical quantities with a numerical value called as magnitude, then they are called as scalar quantities. But vector quantities are something different, where in addition to this magnitude there is another one, that is direction. So of course briefly I will explain you about these concepts in my video itself. So now the next concept is distance and displacement. During this conversation in my last video I might have used this word called displacement. What is distance and what is displacement? Is there any difference between distance and displacement? Yes, there is a lot of difference between distance and displacement. Yes, and we have learned in the last class that S is the alphabet which is used to write for distance, but here displacement also can be written with S itself. Then what could be the difference between distance and displacement? I will give you one example. Say a body, a person thrown a stone in a upward direction. So what happens? The stone moves to a maximum distance and it falls on the ground, isn't it? The stone was thrown upward in the air and it moved to a maximum distance with some speed, of course, and it falls on the ground due to the gravitational force. But here it is A and B. For example, this is the path. Okay, this is the path. That means A to B. Here, how can we differentiate this distance and displacement? I will tell you. Displacement is nothing but the shortest path covered by an object. Shortest path. But distance, it is the longest process. You know very well, to reach Hyderabad there are many ways. As you know, in different villages or cities you can travel and you can reach Hyderabad. So how we will choose the distance, or how we will select the roadway or trainway or whatever the ways which is beneficial to us, in that aspect we will try to reach the Hyderabad. Okay, so we will choose or we will select the shortest path which will take. So the shortest path is obviously from Hanamkonda to Kazipet, Jangaon, Aler, and then Gatkesar and Hyderabad. Like that. It is by roadway and even train ways also. The same, that is the shortest path. So longest path means if you want to go, so you go to Karimnagar, Siddipet, from there you can reach Hyderabad. So that is the longest path. So nobody chooses the longest path. So here also displacement deals with the object's path, which covers a shortest path. Distance means what? Distance covered by the object. In other words, see, distance doesn't explains you about in which direction it moved. It won't deal with about the direction, but displacement always gives you an idea of direction. Remember this concept. Displacement gives you an idea of direction, but the distance only deals with the magnitude but not the direction. Displacement will give you an idea direction as well as magnitude. For example, a person, some Ramu, he started moving towards to Hyderabad. Okay, so and he traveled whole journey, say 150 kilometers. Assume that 150 kilometers. So 150 kilometers is the distance traveled by the Ramu, whereas the displacement will give you an idea about Ramu traveled 150 kilometers in southwest direction to reach Hyderabad, or he reached Hyderabad by traveling 150 kilometers in a southwest direction or east-west, like that. That means in these two statements, in the first statement I did not mention about the direction, whereas in the second statement I have mentioned direction. So whenever the direction comes, immediately it comes under vector quantity, whereas there is no direction with only magnitude, then it comes under scalar quantities. Did you get the difference between the idea between the distance and displacement? Yes. So in my next video I will explain you about speed and velocity and some more important topics. So note this point, okay, and keep maintaining a book so that helps you a lot. Already I might have given in your 8th class, okay, and please write an important points about this concept and please post it in a group, and mainly have to watch all these completely this video. That helps you a lot, and thank you.